Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are going to watch a press conference with Max Verstappen. Let's listen to him.
Max Verstappen, four-time world champion. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds of course very good. Yeah, something that when you grow up racing and you see all these stats of some legendary drivers, and you're like, that's very impressive. And I hope one day that I can even just be on the podium, win a race, maybe win a championship. It's already hard enough to win one, and of course then you also need a bit of luck to be in the right team situation to maybe win more. But yeah, luckily we did that. But I think that was more like the first three championships. Now this year we hit the ground running well, but then we had a lot of tough races, and that is something where I'm very proud of, in those tough races where we were definitely not the fastest car. We kept it together as a team. We worked very hard back at the factory as well, remained calm most of the times, and we barely made any mistakes. We really maximized or even overperformed in some places. Plus, our opposition also in a few places definitely didn't grab the points that they should have. And all those things, of course, matter at the end of the day when you fight for a championship.
Christian Horner believes this has been your most impressive season to date. Do you agree with him?
I think so too. I mean, last year I had a dominant car, but I always felt that not everyone appreciated what we achieved as a team. Winning 10 in a row. Of course, our car was dominant, but it wasn't as dominant, I think, as people thought it was. So that's for sure my best season I will always look back at. Because even in places where maybe we didn't have the perfect setup, we were still capable, because in the race, our car was always quite strong, to win races. But I'm also very proud of this season, because for most of the season, I would say for 70% of the season, we didn't have the fastest car, but actually we still extended our lead. So that is definitely something that I'm very proud of.
You say for 70% of the season you didn't have the fastest car, but did you ever doubt that you'd win the title?
You always have to believe in yourself, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that have to come together, a lot of things that have to come together with the car, especially in the middle of the season where we had a lot of issues where we didn't really understand what was going on. But then I'm also very happy and I'm proud of how the team responded, and turned it around a bit. We at one point it seemed like we were a little bit lost, but at least now it feels like it is all a bit more normal. Of course, here in Vegas, I feel like it's a very one-off event where it's very cold and the track layout is also quite special. But in general, I do think that since Austin, we have turned it around a little bit and we are a bit more in that fight again. Yeah, all credits to the team for that. Of course, I know that's been quite a tough season for us overall, also in the constructors. But at least we still won one championship.
I want to say to him, I'm going to interrupt a little bit, but never mind, you can just skip my part. I want to say to him, just congratulations. He did an amazing job. We was struggling a lot with his car, but he started, after that struggles, let's say, his skills started to talk, and he just won the fourth time for him for the championship in Formula 1. And also Red Bull did an amazing job. They managed to well that struggles. That's it. Like, he won, and he will won maybe next year. He's driving amazing, and he's so fast, and I don't know what to say more about Max Verstappen's driving skill. Just one more time, congratulations to him.
Certainly did, Max. Very well done. Let's now open this to the floor. As ever, name and publication, please.
Of course, Lando, I know him, of course, for a long time already. So also to race a friend of yours to the title is always a little bit different. But I think we, have a lot of respect for each other. And yeah, well, I'm sure that we'll have many more battles to come.
Thank you, Max. Tom, yeah.
Tom Carey, Telegraph. Congratulations, Max. You mentioned how proud you were of this title. You say it's your best one. Obviously, when you had the dominant car at the start of the season, you won 4 of the first 5 races. The team were under huge scrutiny at that time. How difficult was that? And how proud are you of the way you handled that and managed to get through that period with those wins?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning was quite, let's say, a bit messy, but I think I'm quite calm in those situations. I think it's very difficult to disturb me with anything. I'm very focused on the racing side of things. And I know that when I sit in the car, I forget about everything, even, positive, negative stuff. And I just focus on what's ahead of me, and that's performance, and drive the car as fast as I can. Just a response from that. I think when we went to Austin, after really understanding our issues from, let's say, Monza, to see already an upturn in performance and a lot of ideas for next year. A few things we couldn't change anymore this year. So that is something for next year, and I just hope that makes the car more drivable, in general, of course, more competitive. But I also, of course, know that the other ones are not sitting still. So next year is going to be, I think, a big battle. But, to be honest, I think in your life, every year there are always thoughts going through your head from how long do I still want to do this? Where do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? There are things in your private life, that happen. Of course, in your racing life. So there are always things that you have to deal with and think about. But that's fine. I mean, I think in general quite relaxed about these things. Because it's very important to split, your private life and racing life. But it's fine to have these thoughts in your head, about what you want to do. But at the same time, I'm also not someone that makes very drastic decisions at the same time. I'm just very happy where I'm at the moment. I'm very loyal to the team, and I will also, I appreciate, of course, what they have done for me, from picking me up out of F3 and giving me in a front seat, and then going through all these emotions over all the years with these key people in the team. So when there are tough times, it's very easy to say goodbye or forget about it or ignore it. But I think it's actually way more important to actually face them and go through it together and deal with it and just try to just move on from there and focus it back, of course, on the performance side of things and have fun out there. That's at the end of the day the most important. If you're not having fun, then there's no point to continue.
Thank you. Next.
Max, Sahil Kapoor, NBC, congratulations on the championship. Could you talk us from your perspective through the highs and lows of the season? High points, not including today, of course.
I mean, most of the think about the mental side, because for me, that's not really, I mean, for me, when I sit in the car, I just try to go flat out, do everything I can. And when I come home, I want to focus on other stuff. But at times, of course, it's quite frustrating when, you've had such a run of results last year. You come into this year and it's again going quite well. Of course, I always thought to myself already after last year, like, don't expect another year like that. It's very rare that those things happen. But then at one point, the car was also just really difficult to drive. And then it was about just working together with the team, because when you have, these tough moments, it can also be very demotivating. Like, whatever, I give up on this. But then those moments are actually very important to keep it together and actually work harder and try to understand what is going on. Because if in those moments you give up, you are going to give up the championship as well.
Thank you. Next.
Lawrence Edmondson, ESPN. Congratulations, Max. Just focusing on those tougher times, was there ever a point that you felt that Lando actually had a better chance of winning this championship and that he had become the favourite?
Well, I would say from Miami onwards, most of the time we were not the quickest anymore. And Miami is still very early on in the season. So, for 50 points, 60 points, they can very easily be overturned if you keep maximizing results and not do anything crazy. So, and I mean, I've experienced that myself, being 30, 40 points down. I think we're 22. Anything is possible. So I had that always in the back of my mind, but at the same time, I was just focused on what I could control within the team and just give it everything every single weekend.
Max, we'll leave it there. Very, very well done from all.
Thanks for watching this with us. Congratulations to Max Verstappen. We heard a lot of like the same questions from the interviewers, from the journalists, but it is what it is. Don't forget to like the video, comment it, and subscribe to the channel.